Hello, good evening. This is another video on the ICB strategy. I just want to talk about a few things, just what the setup looks like and what the targets normally are, and now what do I look at when I'm trading with my strategy. Now, this strategy can be applied on the 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1 minute as well. I also look at 1 minute, 1 hour, or 4 hour projections to see if there was any good setup and if I can hold it that long. But normally I do exit on a 15-minute. I like trading on a 15-minute. If I'm not finding a setup on a 15-minute chart, I go to the lower time frame. Again, there's more noise on the 1 minute, but sweet spot would be a 5-minute time frame, just to see um, new highs or sorry, previous highs or previous lows, and just target those on a pretty choppy day. But let's just go over like one few back testing again, and I want to do a month of April. Since we are currently in the month of April, I just want to do for the first 15 days or so, and see how we do on that. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this first. Let's see. Pull up my replay tools. Start new. Looks like we're going to be working from April 2nd. That's a Thursday. Okay, I'm going to go down to, let's say, a 5-minute time frame. Okay, I know last video was about 15-minute time frame, but this video I'm doing a 5-minute time frame. Let's just to see, give you more variety of my trades and what I'm actually looking at. Currently, looks like we are in a pre-market zone here. Let me turn on my. Okay, well, we're just going to wait. I'm not doing the EMA today, so this video is strictly on price action and liquidity targets. Excuse me. We're gonna wait till the 9:30 open. Let's go and mark the 9:30 open right here. It's a 9:30 right there. Let's go ahead and forward it. So what are we looking at in the pre-market session, right? This was a Asia low. This was a London low right here, and we're gonna see what market does here. Starting to reverse a bit, and it's touching a 1 hour FVG higher time frame. FVG digs deep into it at 9:30. Is this my trade now? I don't think so. I don't know. I would just want to see how price reacts to this liquidity pool over here. But this is what happened. There was no sweep down here, but the price market started to move up. This could have been my setup, but I don't see an inside candle. This is not an inside candle for me. This is pretty large, and then the stop loss is just too large, so I'm just waiting for more confirmation here, or for a better entry, really. Okay, I do see an inside candle. I want to see what the next candle does. Okay, that looks like a pretty good setup to me. I'm gonna go ahead and take a long here. There you go. The ICB is marked as well. Okay. And target a 1:1. Why are we targeting a 1:1? Because we do have some sort of liquidity up here that the price wants to take, and the FVG up here, where price definitely wants to reach. Let's just mark it out. That right there. Let's go ahead and see how we do on this trade. There it is. Whoa. Ooh, whoa. I have no idea what happened there, but yeah, that's a pretty big news candle. What time was that? 10:35. It's probably a 10:30, 10:35 candle. Okay, it's probably a news at some point. But nevertheless, you see how price tagged perfectly into the fair value gap, and you could have just held it longer to see this to seek this high. Okay, well, that's the trade for this day, and I'm gonna move on from here. But the key point was to wait for the setup. The setup is that inside candle and then breakout candle. Let me move this box. This is the inside candle and this is a breakout candle. Breakout candle needs to, if it sweeps a bit lower and closes higher, that's a pretty good chance of hitting your target. That's a A++ trade in my books. And if it sweeps lower, the previous inside candle, okay, and then closes above the inside candle. That is your good setup to trade this. Even then again, this is on 5 minutes. This happens on 1 minute. This happens on 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 4 hours as well. But yeah, look out for these beautiful candles, and you can just trade them all the way to the top. Okay. Again, your targets are always your liquidity points up here. Whatever you find liquidity. Again, your PD areas can also be your liquidity zones. So that's why, as long as your liquidity zones are above your target, there that acts as a price magnet. Okay. Price magnet. I'll love to put a magnet down here. Let's see. It's too big, but whatever. That's the magnet for me. So as long as I know that there are higher time frame, higher old highs or old lows or a PD array sitting up there, that's a good target, and I would never hesitate to take that trade. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Next day, I mean. Where am I? This I'm in London session, 8 a.m., 9:30. Looks like this day is a holiday, so we're just gonna move on to the next day. Sunday, Monday. Monday 9:30. Okay. I'm going to be going over some other setups where the setup can actually fail, because that is more important than actually holding the setup. You have to know when to hold the setup and when not to hold the setup. It's good to know that, because when you're confident in trade, you want to hold on to your setup and just not move your stop loss or anything like that. Now, if you are, there are times when the setup actually tells you that it's going to fail. When the setup tells me that it's going to fail, I'm going to immediately close the trade, and I want to show you what that looks like in real time. Let's see here. Okay, we have a great decent open, swept up. We swept some sort of liquidity right here, and then we kind of swept down again. Now we are sweeping liquidity from 9:30 before. Now let's see how the price moves. I don't know what the price action is going to look like here. Okay, we still have inside candles. Not a strong close there. Just keep watching this. Not a strong close. Again, it swept this high and then closed back in the range again. There you go. That's one big breakout candle to the downside. What are my targets here? Is what I'm looking. My targets here are this part and this part right here. We have equal lows. My indicator is marking equal lows here. But this candle is too large for me to take. You see, my stop losses has to be right here, entry point right here, and 1:1. I probably get a 1:1. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a good 1:1 ratio because it's targeting this area right here. Um, let's see if the setup fails. I want to show you how I should exit, or what shows me that if it fails. I just want to go ahead and take this trade. Let's see, that's the stop loss, and take profit down here. We have a 1:4. I'm sorry, 1:1.04 ratio here. Let's see. Okay, that is giving me a red flag right here. This candle right here should not have closed inside this body. Okay, and there's a wick downward. That means it's swept liquidity down here and it's trying to close inside. What is this actually telling me? This is telling me that price wants to seek the top, or the premium of this candle. Okay, There it is. It's trying to dig in deeper and slowly and slowly. This was a 5 minute candle, but imagine this was 5 minutes and this is 5 minutes. That means it's taking its time to dig deep into this range. Now, why would I want to hold this trade when the candle is digging deep into this range, right? So I would definitely exit out right here. Once the price made this made this move, I would exit right here. I would lose maybe 10% of my trade, whatever, and exit and wait for a better entry. And even also check if this is actually the right entry or the right move for the day. Because if this is making more bullish candles, it's just not the way to trade. Go lower. So price is telling me that it doesn't want to go lower. Okay. Now I'm just waiting to see what the price going to tell me after this. Okay. If there's another ICB that's forming in this range, bearish ICB, I would definitely take it down. But so far, no signal. I like this. I like this pattern right here. I like this move. I'm gonna go ahead and take my stop loss right here for a better entry. Now, keep in mind, we already have this big 5 minute candle with ICB, which has swept on top and broke lower, right? So this is my breakout candle. So 1:1 ratio for this is the target of right here. So if even if my entry was here and my target would still be down here, that will yield me at least 1:2.07. So let's see how that goes. Again, I would exit down there because this candle was FME me off because this was not a this was not a good confirmation, but this gave me a good confirmation. This next candle. So since that candle gave me a a good confirmation, I would still take another entry right here, exit down here, and then exit entry right here, and let's hold this. Now, if the price is playing around in this area for so long, I don't want to be in this trade. This is not how I hold my trades. This is going to be just another sideways or consolidation zone because this was such a large range. Price just wants to go sideways. So I already finished 2 trades on this day, so I'm going to take an L and walk away. Price action was very weak. It was all consolidating throughout the day. So all it did was take out these lows that were formed in the 9:30 after 9:30 open. It didn't even take out the London lows, so not even the pre-market lows. Oh well, it did take pre-market lows. Sorry. So that was the target for the day, and today was a consolidation day. So I'm not too happy about that. But we're just gonna move on. I hope you guys understood why I exited out here. That is a more important point. We have to exit at the right times, especially when the breakout candle is too large and the next candle is digging deep into that range. There's no point in holding it. Okay, we are approaching 9:30 session over here. Let me just mark it out again. 9:30. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Now, what is price telling us over here? We have this pre-market high here and pre-market low here. Uh, Overnight was all consolidation. Okay, it just went sideways. Now, what are we going to? Today is Thursday. Okay, let's see. What kind of open we had? We had an open. We swept up. We swept that liquidity down here and closed within the back in the range. This next candle also did not do much. It just closed within the range of the first candle. So keep holding, keep watching. Okay. Now we have an inside candle and a breakout candle to the bearish side. We have a previous day low or a Sunday low or whatever this is, some sort of target. We have equal lows down here. That's more of a reason to target the liquidity down here. Now, am I going to get 1:1 ratio if I enter right here? Is the question. Okay, I do get a little bit more than 1:1. So I'm going to see if I'm going to go ahead and take this trade and enter right here at this short. Okay, Now my ICB is showing me. I know there's one ICB formed here. It's showing me the target is 1:1 right here. But let's hope and try to hold till this Sunday low because that is a liquidity target. That will yield me at least 1:1.67. So let's see how this plays. And boom. Now, will I hold it till here? Yeah, I probably would have held it, but I also would have trailed my stop loss. As soon as I see this candle, I would have stopped out. I would have gotten out because it reached my 1:1 ratio. I would not want to hold all this until 11:15 or 11 o'clock in the morning and see what it does. Yes, this is a good trade. If you can hold it, I have the good conviction that price was going to come down here because this was a previous day low or a Sunday low, some sort of higher high. There was a liquidity down here. So it's a good trade to hold down here. But me personally, I just know myself that I won't be able to hold such long, especially when I already hit a 1:1 target. I'm out of it. Okay, so this is a good trade for the day. I'm just going to move on to the next day because I don't think I would trade anymore on this day because the target has already been met. If you have any questions, guys, please leave a comment down below or let me know anyway if I need to if you guys want clarification on anything else. Um, I'm just gonna move on to the next day for now. Oh boy, I remember this. This is where it gets interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the 9:30 a.m. first. It's right here. All right, let's see how price acts over here. All right, so we have break below here and we set this liquidity. Okay, my main thing is where are the targets? Why do I have to take a bearish trade or a bullish trade for the day? Right, that is the biggest question I ask myself. Setup forms everywhere, right? Setup is not important. For my strategy, I need the targets. I need to know the targets, why those targets are important. Why is it important for me to take the setup that is presented to me? Okay, that I need to understand, that I need to have conviction that the levels, the target or liquidity levels are magnets. If I understand that my magnets are set in place, my targets are set in place, that means that price wants to go tap those levels, then it makes sense for me to take a setup. Okay, setups are always there. You can get lost in this consolidation and look for setup everywhere here, but doesn't mean that you have to take those setups. Okay, price will show its hand with momentum and at time and time based. It has to be the right time for you to enter the trade. I don't know if this is the right trade or not. It's showing me a bearish ICB, but hey, if I miss it, I miss it. Whatever. But I'm just gonna have to be careful when I take my trades. I'm watching this right now. I may have missed the trade already, but because I didn't know, I didn't have much targets down here. I'm just watching what the price does. Okay, it has tapped into this equal lows down here, which was not even close to 1 hour. Look at this, 1 hour is right here for this ICB formed here, right? Look at this. Yep, that 1:1 is right here, and the price has just tapped this equal lows and started to reverse. Now, will I exit right here? Yes. If I had entered here, I would have exited right here. That would have been a break-even trade for me and close shop. But let's see what price does after this. Okay, we have another bearish close, but this is not a strong close. This is not a strong close. So I'm expecting some sort of reversal around in this area. Yeah, this is just weak price action, so I don't think I would be trading this. Finally, it taps that equal that high time frame FEG, whatever, and then it wants to go back into that range in the previous in the morning session. And because of that, I'm just going to move on to the next day. I don't think I would have taken any trades. But if I have were to force myself, I would have taken one trade right here to force to take down these lows. But yeah, we're gonna move on. Whereas we are approaching 9:30, I'm gonna go ahead and mark my line. Okay, and be careful. Okay, so at the open, we had a bearish candle. We swept the liquidity up here, start going bearish. And we do have lows from yesterday down here. Okay, I want to see what the next candle does. Next candle went back into the range. Now we are seeing that price wants to take out the high of that bearish breakout candle. Okay, that's why it's very important to get out of these candles. And whenever you see a bullish close or within the range, close within the range. Okay, it's flipped high and now it's making lower lows. Okay, I want to see another breakout candle towards bearish side, and that would give me a good setup to enter. Nope, it closed within back in the range, so I'm just watching. I'm still waiting for another good bearish push. That was not it. That was not strong enough. Yes, it swept. It went dug into the PD array in here like a FVG and start coming back. I want to see another bearish candle that broke below this range right here. Let's see what price presence here. Okay, that's weak action. Nope. Okay, that sort of is my setup. I'm gonna go ahead and take a 1-to-1 here. Sorry. Let's just go with 1-to-1 for this day. All right, there it is. Okay, I would exit right there because of this candle, but you know, his price is just weak and lethargic and going downwards. It would have just not worked out because of this candle right here which closed inside. I would have already exited down here because I knew that this was going to fail. The setup was going to fail. We have some sort of liquidity down here. We had liquidity down here. This was just the minimum target that the price was looking for. And yeah, we were just not going down lower anymore. So let's see what happens the rest of the day. Wow, just keeps going up. So this setup formed late in the day. It's around 10:30. You could have taken a bullish trade right here with this inside candle and a breakout candle, and then held it up all the way till this high right here. So that's how this trade, the main trade of the day for this day particularly was a bullish trade, and the setup occurred after 10:30. If I were to go back, let's see. So let's think about this. We are still waiting for this liquidity sweep to happen, and price to actually give us a clear trend. When will I know that the price has given me a clear trend? Price has given me a clear trend after it breaks this high. Okay, this high right here. After it breaks that high, I will know that I can go long. And there it is. That's a breakout, and that's where I would go. I know I missed. I didn't trade, or I didn't see. I didn't wait for this in the beginning, but now that it's on the hindsight, it's quite easy. But I just I want you guys to see how my bullish trade would work out. First, there was a liquidity sweep, and then there's a inside candle and the breakout candle, and then I'm targeting this higher liquidity right here and here, this point and this point. Okay, and even on the higher time frame, like on the weekly time frame or daily time frame, we are definitely bullish here. Okay, that's it. That's how it was. Other thing to to watch or consider is that this candle, which was a bullish close, this is giving me more confirmation to hold the trade because this was not a bearish close. Okay, if it was bearish, I would have closed my trade again and taken a re-entry, trying to target this higher highs. But since that was not a bearish candle, that gives me more confirmation to enter and hold this trade. Yes, I would be trailing my stop loss for break even, and I don't think I would have been stopped out. I was never stopped out here. I would just continue to take profit. Okay, all right. Let's just want to move on for the next day. Now on this day, I know my bias is long, and I'm just waiting for a good setup. But what has price done? Price has already taken this liquidity out here, and it's trying to reverse. Um, this looks like a nice bearish candle, but it has not closed beneath this previous candle. So I'm just going to be watching. Since my bias for the day is bullish, I'm looking for a bullish ICB. Now we're still in the range. I'm just going to be watching this price action right now is pushing down. We're trying to take some sort of liquidity. Wait till the liquidity is swept, and there you go. That's a good candle for me to enter. This was a good bullish candle. There was an inside candle down there. The red candle is inside candle. This is the breakout candle. Target 1:1. Boom. That is exactly how I would have traded this day. Yes, price would have probably stopped me out here, but that is just the nature of the game. 1:1 is always could also be a far away target sometimes. But if you were able to like pick up these targets, these highs, and just hold on to those highs for taken, you still be in profit. But this is a good trade. If I were to have held this all the way along, I would have definitely been by 1:1, and even 1:1.24 actually. Okay. And the rest is something that I don't care about for the rest of the day because I am out my trades. What is happening here? Oh, had a gap down. Okay. All right. Let's see what we do here. Price is opening 9:30. All right. We have a bullish. Bullish ICB here. This candle, the way it closed, even if I had taken a trade, let's say, if I had taken a trade right here, because I have my criteria like the inside candle, breakout candle, looks good, right? And then I would just target, and also we're overall bullish, so I would just target a 1:1. But let's see if this candle is a indecisive candle. It's not a bearish or a bullish candle. It's just consolidation candle. I'm just gonna wait for the next candle to see how it closes. Then I'll decide on my exit or not. No, I'm not gonna exit. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold this trade and keep going for 1:1. Price is refusing to go higher, and I see a high and then lower high here. Starting to reverse on me. Also, this candle range is too large for the given period of time. So price may want to just come back and consolidate in this area. But let's see. Okay, there it is. 1:1 met for the day, and I'm out of the trade. So it's simple, guys. First, setup is not important. Setup is not what gives you your conviction for the day. It's the targets and the overall bias. We need to know the overall bias. If you are looking at a daily time frame and know that the candles are are printing bullish for 2-3 days, and you know that there are higher targets to be met, it's best to take those, consider those higher targets as your levels for the day, targets for the day, and then you look for the setup, the right setup for you to enter, and manage your risk, manage your capital better. So if you are seeing red flags, it's best to get out sooner than to hold on to the trade and hit the stop loss. Okay, because the strategy is a 1:1 strategy, you will need to have more success rate than that, more win rate than a what am I saying? You need to have more consistency in your win rate, okay, and that's when it's going to work. So closing down on your capital, or on your trades when the market is showing some red flags, is a good thing to do, because you will be protecting your capital, because your win rate is high, but if you lose, you're gonna be losing the whole 1% of your account if you're trading with 1% or so. Anyway, I'm just going to go over one more day, and then call it a day, because if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I was trying to be as clear as possible in this. If I'm not, if you still have any doubts, or please always shoot me a message, and I'll respond back. I'm just trying to look at the 9:30 here. Hold on. Okay. All we've seen is overnight consolidation. We had an open range breakout, and then, okay, even if I had entered right here, this candle closed bearish, so I would exit my trade right here. I want to see more price action that's bullish, that's pushing up. So let's say if this was one of my trade, let me see. If this was one of my trade, because this was a bullish candle and a stop loss and hit 1-to-1 right there, I would have exited right here, close the trade with a minimum of what, like 0.65, something like that. I would just close my trade off. Okay. Let's see what the next candle shows me here. Okay, that's a bullish candle. All right, considering this, there's a fair value gap down here. Price did not tap into this fair value gap now. Now, if the price taps into this fair value gap and then pushes higher, that is a very good trade. That's an A+ trade. So I'm expecting some sort of like come back to here and go back up. Okay. Let me show you what I'm expecting. That's something like that. Okay. Let's see what price does, but also this is a good entry. But this entry is good, but there is a risk of price tapping in here and having my stop loss hit, because my stop loss is going to be down here, right? Because this is the inside candle, and this is the breakout candle, right? Right here. Let me show you. So if I were to place the inside candle right here and the breakout candle and enter here, my stop loss has to be down here. But if the price does this movement, taps into this FVG, then I cannot save my stop loss, but the trade is still good. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't enter here. I'm waiting for more confirmation. Let's see. Okay, okay, okay. That's looking good. Okay. Price does not want to tap into this FVG. It's looking very, very strong. So this is where I would enter on my second trade. Okay. Now hold it for 1:1. There it is. Boom. Okay. And who knows what price does after this? I don't know. It probably takes keeps ripping after that. Again, this is the point. If I were to be trading this on 15 minutes, I probably could have watched this price action go up. Now, since I took this trade on 5 minutes, this is a golden nugget right here. I want you to move on to 15-minute time frame and see what the price action is looking like. My entry was right here, right? But here, watch this. This being the low of the candle, and this being the high of the candle, instead of taking a 1:1, I could have held it till here, taking a 1:1.84. So that's how you increase, because the reason being, this is the inside candle, this is a breakout candle on a 15-minute time frame. You have a larger 15-minute candle right here. You that 15-minute is showing you your entrance. Your entry should be right over here, okay? But because you entered on a 5-minute, your entry was down here. That yields you one is not a 1:1, but a 1:8.4. Now, if you were holding this and you saw another inside candle and a breakout candle right here, guess what? You take another 1:1 from here, like that. Okay, take another 1:1 and hold the same trade all the way till high. That's the sauce. That's why switching or entry on a lower time frame is good, as long as you have a proper bias on a 5-minute. 1 minute is too noisy. 5-minute is a fair enough entry. But if you can hold it for 15-minute ICB, that can definitely yield you a 1:3.6. So you can definitely triple that risk or even more. Okay, so that's something that that's my golden nugget right there, because this is one of those uh, the secret for my strategy is how to convert a 1:1 trade into 1:3.5 trade. Okay, for those of you who have stayed till the end of the video, you're in luck, because you found out my golden strategy here, and this is how it works. Okay, thank you for watching my videos, and appreciate everyone that's leaving me support and likes, and helping me grow on my journey. Appreciate everyone. Thank you, and have a blessed day.